Think watercolor is just soft flowers and sleepy landscapes? Think again. The artists on this list are here because they're changing the game, winning major awards, inspiring millions online, and pushing watercolor into bold, uncharted territory. From gritty street scenes to breathtaking portraits, and by the end of this video, you'll see exactly why they made the cut. Alvaro Castagnet. Our first artist is Alvaro Castagnet, born in Uruguay and now based in Spain. If you've ever seen one of his paintings, you know they're packed with life. He's famous for painting urban scenes, Paris streets, London markets, Montevideo cafes, all in a loose, expressive way. Castagnet doesn't just paint what's in front of him, he paints the feeling of being there. You can almost hear the chatter of people, the hum of traffic, the distant sound of footsteps in the rain. His brush strokes are bold and his colors are rich, reds, yellows, deep blues, all layered in quick, confident movements. He's spent decades mastering his craft and teaching others. In fact, many artists today learn directly from his workshops. His philosophy is simple: paint with emotion, not just accuracy. That's why his work feels so alive. It's not about copying a photograph, it's about capturing the energy of the moment. In 2019, he received a Lifetime Achievement Award, a recognition of his impact not only as an artist but also as a mentor. He's proof that watercolor doesn't have to be delicate, it can be powerful and full of movement. Joseph Zbukvic. Next is Joseph Zbukvic from Australia. He's considered one of the world's finest watercolorists, and his style is instantly recognizable. His paintings often show quiet, moody scenes: a rainy street at dawn, a misty riverbank, a park with soft morning light. What makes Zbukvic special is how he uses light and atmosphere. He can take a simple scene, maybe a few figures walking under umbrellas, and turn it into something cinematic. His color palette is usually soft and muted, but it's never dull. He plays with grays, browns, and cool blues in a way that makes the light pop. Over his career, he's won more than 200 awards, including several gold medals from major watercolor societies. But beyond the awards, he's also known for being a generous teacher. His workshops focus on mood, composition, and storytelling, skills that go far beyond just technique. When you look at his work, you don't just see a place, you feel the weather, the temperature, and the mood of that exact moment. That's a rare skill, and it's why he's respected around the world. Chien Chung Wei. From Taiwan, we have Chien Chung Wei, born in 1968. He's self-taught, which is impressive considering how much recognition he's earned. Chien is the first Taiwanese artist to hold signature memberships in both the American Watercolor Society and the National Watercolor Society. His style is a beautiful blend of East and West. You can see the influence of traditional Chinese ink wash painting in his use of empty space and brush rhythm, but he also uses Western watercolor layering and perspective to build depth and atmosphere. Chien paints a wide range of subjects: flowers, landscapes, street scenes, but all of them have a fresh, vibrant quality. He's won dozens of awards at international exhibitions, and his work appears in museum collections and art society catalogs worldwide. He also travels extensively, teaching watercolor workshops and introducing more people to the beauty of Asian watercolor traditions. His career shows how art can cross cultural boundaries and bring different traditions together. Thomas W. Schaller. American artist Thomas W. Schaller, born in 1960, is known as the Architect of Light. And that's not just a catchy nickname, it's based on his real background as an architectural designer. Schaller's paintings often feature city skylines, historic buildings, or iconic landmarks, but they're not stiff or technical. He balances precise architectural drawing with soft, glowing watercolor washes that bring the scene to life. Light is his main subject, whether it's sunlight streaming through arches or reflections dancing across glass buildings. He uses watercolor's transparency to create depth and atmosphere. He's the author of Architecture in Watercolor and other books that have become go-to references for artists. In 2024, he won the Arthur Ross Award in Fine Arts, a big honor that recognizes his contribution to both art and architecture. Through his exhibitions, books, and lectures, Schaller has inspired countless artists to look at architecture not just as structure, but as a stage for light and shadow to play. Walton Ford. Now we have Walton Ford, born in 1960 in the United States. If you think watercolor is only for small, delicate works, Ford will completely change your mind. His watercolors are huge, sometimes the size of oil paintings, and they're packed with detail. He paints animals, but not in a simple wildlife art way. His works are like natural history illustrations on steroids. They have the precision of 19th century museum dioramas, but they also carry deeper stories, often symbolic or historical. One example is his 2023 watercolor Phantom, which shows a massive lion carrying a book in its mouth. It's both realistic and full of mystery. His works are displayed in major venues like Casman Gallery and the Morgan Library and Museum, and they've been collected by museums worldwide. Ford's influence comes from proving that watercolor can be epic, not just in size but in storytelling power. He's shown that the medium can hold its own alongside oil, acrylic, or any other heavyweight medium. Sandra Walker. From the UK, we have Sandra Walker, an artist with a reputation for capturing the soul of urban life. Her watercolors often depict busy streets, bustling markets, or the quiet charm of back alleys. Walker's secret weapon is her eye for composition. She doesn't just paint a scene, she frames it in a way that pulls you right into it. You might feel like you're standing at the corner of a cafe, hearing the clink of cups, or walking through a market filled with voices and smells. Her color palette is versatile, sometimes vibrant, sometimes muted, but always perfectly matched to the mood of the scene. She has exhibited internationally, winning awards and recognition from major watercolor societies. Walker's work proves that everyday moments are worth celebrating. In her paintings, even an ordinary street corner becomes a story worth telling. Thomas Aquinas Daly. American painter Thomas Aquinas Daly brings a deep sense of nostalgia to watercolor. He's best known for his landscapes, wildlife, and still life paintings, often inspired by rural life and the outdoors. Daly's color palette is earthy and restrained, soft browns, golden yellows, muted greens, giving his work a timeless feel. His paintings aren't about flashy color or dramatic scenes. They're about mood, memory, and the quiet beauty of nature. Over the decades, Daly's work has been collected by museums, corporate collections, and private buyers across the country. He's also published books sharing his philosophy and process, inspiring a generation of painters. His art reminds us that watercolor isn't always about speed or spontaneity. It can also be thoughtful, patient, and full of emotional weight. Gary Tu. From Taiwan, we have Gary Tu, a watercolorist whose work feels like it's in constant motion. His paintings often depict busy streets, markets, and waterfront scenes filled with life and activity. What stands out in Tu's work is his control of perspective and depth. He guides the viewer's eye through the scene, from foreground figures to far-off buildings, using light and shadow in a way that feels cinematic. His color choices are bold without being overpowering. You might see splashes of red or yellow that pop against cooler tones, bringing certain details to life. Even with so much going on, his compositions never feel cluttered, they feel alive. Gary Tu's work has been shown in international exhibitions, and he's gained a following among both collectors and fellow artists for his ability to turn chaotic real-life scenes into harmonious, compelling compositions. Nicholas Simmons. American painter Nicholas Simmons was known for pushing the boundaries of watercolor, often working on a large scale and combining it with mixed media. Sadly, Simmons passed away in 2017, but his influence on contemporary watercolor remains strong. His paintings often blended realism with abstraction. You might see detailed figures set against bold, almost graphic backgrounds. He wasn't afraid to break rules, using unconventional colors, dripping techniques, or even digital manipulation alongside traditional brushwork. Simmons won top awards in international competitions, and his teaching encouraged countless artists to take risks with the medium. Even today, his work is studied for its daring composition and fearless energy. He showed us that watercolor doesn't have to be delicate. It can be powerful, large-scale, and unapologetically bold. Eudes Correia. Brazilian artist Eudes Correia is known for his vibrant, expressive portraits. His paintings often feature people from everyday life, commuters, workers, street musicians, captured in a way that feels both real and full of movement. Correia's use of watercolor is fluid and spontaneous. He often leaves parts of the paper untouched, letting the white space interact with the paint. His color splashes are bold, but they never overwhelm the subject. He's a brand ambassador for several major art companies, and he's exhibited and taught internationally. Correia's art celebrates humanity, not the polished, posed version, but the real lived-in faces and moments you see every day. Kazuo Kasai. From Japan, Kazuo Kasai paints landscapes that feel like moments suspended in time. His scenes often depict quiet rivers, mountain villages, or traditional architecture, bathed in soft, natural light. Kasai's brushwork is delicate, his colors muted yet rich. He layers transparent washes to create a depth that draws you in without ever feeling heavy. There's a meditative quality to his paintings. They invite you to pause and breathe. In exhibitions across Asia and beyond, Kasai's work is praised for its ability to blend Japanese aesthetics with a global watercolor language. His paintings are like visual poems, minimal in detail, but rich in feeling. Pablo Ruben. Spanish watercolorist Pablo Ruben is a master of water, literally. His specialty is painting water surfaces, from calm lakes to turbulent seas, with an incredible sense of realism. Ruben understands how reflections, ripples, and transparency work, and he uses that knowledge to create scenes that feel alive. His landscapes often feature boats, harbors, and rivers, with the water itself as the main character. He's won major awards in Europe, and his teaching focuses heavily on how to handle water in watercolor, a challenge that frustrates many artists. His work proves that mastering one element can open endless creative possibilities. Andy Evansen. From the United States, Andy Evansen paints rural and small-town America with warmth and clarity. His subjects include farms, snowy fields, and quiet streets, scenes that feel familiar even if you've never been there. Evansen's strength lies in his value control. He builds strong light and dark contrasts that make his compositions visually striking, even from a distance. His brushwork is confident, and he often works quickly to keep the freshness in his paintings. He served as president of the American Watercolor Society and has taught workshops across the country. His work reminds us of the beauty in simple, everyday places.